So since its founding in 1977, the Cincinnati Pops has always been associated with this vibrant red colored jacket. And we wanted to really continue that history and honor that, and that's where this project was born. The jackets themselves have always been red, but they certainly reflected the style of their times. Founded in 1977, so those jackets had a very groovy feel, right? Wider lapel, wider shoulders, one style. And through the 80s and the 90s, that style kind of continued and was never really updated. And that's why there's this need with the new jackets to modernize the fit and really reflect who the Pops are today. Some of the unique challenges around designing for an orchestra is just the multitude of people, but also the instruments that they're playing. So they are all doing very unique movements that are all unique to their instruments, and jackets need to accommodate those. And I truly think that our musicians are athletes, and they really can play better when they are equipped better. There were a number of people who I had specifically reached out to based on recommendations, and they said this project was impossible, but So Valley was the clear choice.
It was a challenge figuring out how to make a garment for hundreds of people. I was always well aware of the Cincinnati Pops as a world-renowned performing arts organization in our city, but I never really thought about the garments that the musicians actually wore and the functionality requirements of them until we got the call and started this partnership.
The old Pops jackets had a couple problems. The buttons were getting in the way. They were heavy, so they were just hot to wear on stage. They weren't super inclusive of all body types, and they just weren't flattering on everybody.
When we first started prototyping and designing the jackets, we really started with athletic-inspired elements to the jackets. The biggest change that we knew from the beginning was that the fabric had to have stretch in it, which isn't typical for a tailored garment, so we knew that was going to be a challenge in there.
Weight gain, weight loss, fit, just meeting all the different body type needs within 2 jackets.
In the early stages, we selected some styles like this. This is more on the women's style with a very stretchy jersey knit. So we really took the thought of functionality and a musician as an athlete pretty literally. So you can see that this is a nice stretchy jacket. It looks comfortable, but it doesn't look like a tailored jacket per se.
Some of that comes through, we're using mesh, and this was a vent to help things be more breathable. We also were being sort of cute when we took Pops to heart. We were having a pop of color on the inside.
So after a lot of that, playing with more knit fabrics in the beginning, we landed on I believe it's a viscose blend that has some spandex in it. So you can already tell it looks much more structured than our other prototypes, which allowed it to create much less shadows on stage. So it looks tailored from far away. You don't really know until you touch it that it has stretch in it, which the musicians loved once they actually physically touched them.
Yeah.
At one point, I was wandering around Music Hall with JMR, John Morris Russell, with bolts of fabric, putting them on stage, putting them under different lighting, putting them in the seats to see how they were in the hall. And the first time I saw a musician in the fitting process, my heart felt great about that.
When we were doing alterations for the musicians, a lot of them brought in their instruments so that they could hold it while we were fitting them. And I think what they didn't realize at first, because they were used to just getting a jacket and it being theirs, was that me and Madeline were very much like, no, we can make this look really good on you. We can fit it to your body and make sure that you're comfortable as far as sleeve length, not hitting your instrument, and being able to move.
Let's size you down, or what if we did take a little bit out in the back and they're like, oh, you know what, that does kind of look good, baby. I do want that.
To see all of the jackets in real life on stage and be acknowledged as a part of the process for our entire team, it felt like a culmination of this 5-year partnership, and it was really exciting for us.
As well as a relief for us to know that we did good and they look good.
I feel very proud seeing the musicians on stage with their jackets. So Valley is absolutely wonderful to work with. They are some of the most forward thinkers in the textile industry here in Cincinnati and are really pushing to make Cincinnati a place where more of these types of collaborations can exist.